Hello there. In a blow to free speech, Andrew Bridgen, the MP for North West Leicestershire, has been kicked out of the Tory Party. So Andrew Bridgen becomes too much of a nuisance because he asks uncomfortable questions and now finds himself expelled from the Tory Party after being suspended in January, with the cause being cited that Bridgen had previously tweeted that he agreed with an unnamed cardiologist that the worldwide sleeve roll-up was the biggest crime against humanity since a certain event in 1940s Germany. Bridgen is a Brexiteer and a champion of free speech, but now he's asking big questions of Big Pharma and also pointing out the huge democratic deficit in the plans for the UK to join a global health emergency agreement. He's suddenly toast, or at least the Tory hierarchy would like to think that he's now toast. But the one strange facet to this is that we find this out today. But Bridgen was actually expelled from the party on the 12th of April. That's 2 weeks ago. So why did neither the party nor Bridgen himself make this public? All very strange. Unless the silence was to give Bridgen time to put in an appeal, something available to him within 28 days of the decision to expel him. Now Andrew Bridgen says that this decision was made under false pretences and he would still stand for re-election. And with his previous involvement with Laurence Fox, there is speculation that he could join them. Now Bridgen says that this is above all an issue of freedom of speech. No elected member of Parliament should ever be penalised for speaking on behalf of their constituents and those who have no such voice or platform, he said. And he also said that apart from this issue, he'd also been a critic of net zero, irregular migration and political corruption. The party has been sure to make an example of me, he said. And this comes while Diane Abbott is under suspension in the Labour Party for anti-Semitic writings in a press article. So, Richard, what do you think about this Andrew Bridgen situation?
Well, I can't say really, because I can't say whether I think that he did something that was anti-Semitic or not, because I'm not allowed to talk about such things really. To have an opinion that might offend somebody. Either way, no matter what I say, it could offend somebody. Yeah. So as far as the situation goes with Andrew Bridgen, I can't tell you.
Oh, as simple as that.
Yeah.
Well, it does seem a little bit strange, as I said earlier on. It just does seem strange to me that this has happened now. It's taken a few months to get here. So I'm going to leave my mind open on this one and see how this develops. But I'm sure that Bridgen is now out of the Tories for good, whether he appeals or not. And it all comes down whether he joins another party, such as Laurence Fox's... which one is his? Reclaim Party?
Reclaim. Yes, I mean, Reclaim is an interesting party, actually. I don't know how electable they are as a political party and as an entity in its own right, but I've got to say I do like Laurence Fox. I've got a lot of time for Laurence Fox. A hell of a lot of time, actually. I've got a lot of time for a lot of what he says, and I think, Bridgen did do something through the Laurence Fox's Reclaim Party YouTube channel.
Yes, yeah, he did. So yeah.
Yeah, that's. I can't see him standing for Labour.
You never know. Might be. Well, that would be a bit of a push, wouldn't it? Trying to get him into Labour. No, I think you'll find that he may well just go independent. I'm not sure that Reclaim is putting forward candidates, or they stopped. I'm sure they said they stopped putting forward candidates and would be a pressure group a few months ago. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I think that's what they said. And if they're not doing that, backing just one candidate might seem a bit strange in a general election, because that's the next time the election would come up. So I don't know. It all seems rather strange.
Yes, but then you have to ask yourself, the electorate has to ask itself, who do we trust, actually? Because I know this is going off topic slightly from Andrew Bridgen, but who do we trust? I mean, do we trust anybody left in the Conservative Party? Because it's quite clear that Bridgen has been made an example of.
Well,
So-
that's what he said. He said he's been
Yeah,
made an
yeah.
example of, and it looks along those lines as well. I mean, the way it's happened. Who do I trust? Good Lord, not many politicians do I trust. I mean, you just have to look across the world and look at what politicians are doing to see that there's a big deficit in democracy and there's mass corruption going on across the planet. And if we think that we're any different, just because we've got a nice grand Westminster Parliament with all the trappings, you do have to wonder, especially after all the billions that have suddenly gone missing and no one's investigating them. So you have to ask yourself, are our lot up to it as well?
Oh, most certainly. Yeah, that's definitely a loaded question. Of course, wow. But going back though to what we were saying though about the Reclaim Party. I mean, I can actually see a lot of support for Reclaim because there is this sort of perception that Reclaim and Reform are. I mean, okay, the name is a little bit similar.
Yeah.
Okay, but that they are exactly the same sort of entity, but they're not. There's a lot of variances in what has been said and in terms of. Gosh, it's so difficult to do this without mentioning what you want to mention. But in terms of variances in what they've said about the arm intrusion, we'll call it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, some people are still for it and some people are still against it, and that's where a big divide lies at the moment, as is shown with Andrew Bridgen.
Yes, I mean, historically, if you go back and look at some of the things said by Richard Tice and
Dr. David Bull, his second in command.
Yes, regarding the arm intrusion and mandating it, I believe, wasn't it?
Yes, along those lines, which didn't go down very well with some of their supporters. But they seem to have changed their mind. I've seen Dr. David Bull recently on TV having a bit of a spat with a doctor over this.
Yes, I saw that, yes.
Yeah.
I can imagine that, the amount of support that they could have lost is unbelievable, really. I think it has knocked the party back by... But then again, they haven't actually come out and been aggressively against a certain thing that I can't remember.
You're not allowed to talk about it.
No.
Stop talking about it or we'll be banned.
Yeah.
No, okay.
But yes, there's a bit of a difference there. But where will Bridgen end up?
Can't see him going to Reclaim either. I don't think he's got enough oomph behind it. He's got Lawrence Fox, plenty of oomph there, but I'm not so sure. I may be wrong. I'm wrong sometimes, you know.
What, really? But the thing is, I can't imagine, though, if Lawrence Fox gave a good push. I mean, he's got a brilliant vehicle with GB News to be able to speak to a lot of people in a very short period of time. And he is well liked and he's a character, and that's good. Yes, it's a very difficult... it's a difficult one for sort of free-thinking individuals to decide which political party to vote for. Because none of them seem to be cutting the mustard. They've all got fault. I mean, as I said, going back to Reclaim, I don't see much fault in Reclaim, except they're not fielding candidates, probably, which is a bit of a problem.
Well, they may have changed their stance by now.
Yeah.
I mean, if Bridgen is talking to them, then I'm sure they will have changed their stance, but they'll need big money, big backing, which maybe they have. So we'll have to see on that front. But it does come down to there's a lot of decisions to be made by a lot of people out there who are free-thinking, questioning individuals. And that's going to be the big thing, because everyone else is going red or blue, be in no doubt. And the thing we've got to do is try and get out of this red versus blue versus red versus blue seesaw back and forth that never solves the country's problems, ever. Because we keep going downhill and they're the ones that have been in charge. And that's all I've got to say on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.